benefits on November 1st. I tried to find something that was like not too politically leaning hard in one direction or the other. So hopefully this isn't too biased in one direction or the other. So let's read the article. Starting Saturday, individuals seeking supplemental nutrition assistance program or SNAP benefits will be required to meet new eligibility criteria. Changes stem from the One Big Beautiful Bill, which passed into law this summer, upending the program that serves 42 million Americans. Federal spending on the once called food stamp program will decrease by $186 billion, that is a lot, over the next decade. The changes will also force some individuals and families out of the program. The changes to the SNAP program went into effect July 4th, but the U.S. Department of Agriculture and Food Nutrition Service gave states 120 days to comply with the new rules, making the deadline November 1st. Here's what you need to know about the upcoming changes. What are the new work requirements to qualify for SNAP? Under the One Big Beautiful Bill, able-bodied adults without dependents must prove that they are working at least 80 hours a month, pursuing an education, or in a training program to qualify for SNAP. If they're not able to show proof, they will only receive benefits for a maximum of 3 months. Previously, the work requirement included multiple exceptions. It had only applied to those between 18 and 54, but now adults under 65 will have to prove they're working to receive benefits. Additionally, parents responsible for a dependent under 18 used to meet the exemption requirement. Now, the exemption to the work requirement will only apply to adults responsible for dependents under 14. Young adults transitioning out of foster care, veterans, and unhoused must also meet the new work requirement to receive more than 3 months of benefits. The bill adds new exemptions to the work requirements for Indians, they mean Native Americans, in locations where it's difficult to obtain a job. The work requirement may be waived. However, the bill requires that an area have more than a 10% unemployment rate to qualify for a waiver. Will immigrants qualify for SNAP? The federal government has not outlined the new requirements for what they are calling alien SNAP eligibility, with the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food and Nutrition Services website further stating further guidance is forthcoming. However, in a memo, the Oregon Department of Human Services noted that refugees, asylees, trafficking survivors, and other conditionally allowed non-citizens who were eligible for SNAP as of July 3rd, 2025 will lose eligibility under H.R. 1. How is the One Big Beautiful Bill changing the SNAP program? Funding for the SNAP Nutrition Education and Obesity Prevention Grant Program will end with the fiscal year 2025 grant allocation. The grant helped to expand access to healthy food. Starting in 2027, the amount the USDA pays to the state agency for administrative cost of SNAP will shrink from the current 50% to 25%, forcing states to shoulder 75% of the responsibility when it was previously split between 50 and 50. Under the new law, the government will only fully fund SNAP benefits for states that make mistakes in less than 6% of their payments to SNAP recipients. Starting in 2028, states with error rates of more than 6% will have to cover anywhere between 5 and 15% of the cost of SNAP benefits. What can you purchase with a SNAP card? Anyone who owns a SNAP card can use it to buy fruits, vegetables, meat, poultry, fish, dairy products, bread, cereal, snacks, seeds, plants, and non-alcoholic beverages. Okay, so candies doesn't apply anymore. What can you not purchase with a SNAP card? I'm going to just summarize this. Beer, wine, liquor, cigarettes, tobacco, vitamins, medicines, or supplements. Additionally, food considered hot at the point of sale cannot be bought with benefits, along with food and drinks that contain controlled substances like cannabis or CBD. I'm going to have to edit that out. Non-food items, including pet food, cleaning supplies, paper products, household supplies, hygiene products, and cosmetics, are not eligible for the purchase either. How do I feel about this? Since I do need to give a reaction, I can't just read this article without adding something of my own opinion to make it transformative. Honestly, I don't know. I'm all about cutting the fat and frivolous spending, but I do kind of wonder if this isn't going like way too far. You don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And I hope I don't eat these words, but I guess we're going to find out. We will find out. CW out.